This is my February 2025 direct connection observational video. Now I want to clarify what I mean by observational video. It's been 3 months since I've done a video. The Eagles have won a Super Bowl in the time I've done a video. But over the last few months, I've stopped maybe 3 times with a drone. I got different footage of the construction progress. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at the construction progress. You know, as you're buzzing by on the lower level at 65 miles an hour, you do pick up details, you see things moving, but this gives a different vantage point. And I'm going to show some things over time. Direct connection, wall rebuild, Browning Road. Let's see what's happening. First, we're going to do a quick pass here. This is the main wall rebuild. NJDOT calls this wall 22. This is the wall that collapsed. And as you know, 295 is going to go up over top of everything. It's going to go over top of Browning Road, and this segment collapsed. Guys, the new design is completely different. That is poured in place concrete. It connects to the lower level foundation. We're going to take a closer look at that as we are with all these areas. This area is of interest to me because it's a little different design, right? This is what I see as being the abutment area. So up to this point, if you're traveling south, you're on a raised roadway, but then you're going to go up on the bridge, and that's called an abutment. That needs to be extra strong with some extra rigid foundations there. So that's the area of the building there. And then next to it are these vertical columns. They've been there for years, but what the change was at the end of last year is they poured the top header concrete that the overhead roadway will be, it'll support the overhead roadway. Let's take a look at the Browning Road, the local Browning Road. I grew up in Bellmawr. This has been a road I traveled my entire life. They needed to rebuild the bridge longer, actually, to have more room underneath. The end product, the engineer said, we want it to be in the same place. We don't want to inconvenience the locals. Guys, this thing, like the columns are in, the steel structure's done, and as we zoom up to the top there, or pan up, you can see the end bridge, the end result bridge, will be in line with where the old one was. To the left there, you can see cars traveling on that temporary bridge. That will be removed when this is completed. If you notice some of the dark gray piping in there, I believe that's the utility lines that are being run before they put the roadway surface in. Still a ways to go with this project though. Now there's this is interesting. Look how this was November 29th. They had just started putting those steel girders in, and look how far they've moved already. They're putting in utility lines. In fact, you can see the pipes coming out of the roadway there for where the utilities will connect. I noticed something off to the right. This goes back to January. Look at this big square opening here. Now again, 295 is going to go up over top of everything, and something needs to hold that up. This is going to be a massive column, one of the main columns holding up the roadway. So they cut open the asphalt. Now here we are looking at this in February, 2 or 3 weeks ago. They've dug it down. They're going to pour a ton of concrete in there, build a solid foundation, put a support column up above that. Now another thing I noticed with this project a couple weeks ago, and I didn't get new footage when I was just there 2 weeks ago, is there are some, while they got this open, they're taking care of these things. There's some vertical steel beams that are just in the roadway. Now they're going to need additional big columns. I don't know exactly how these steel beams factor into the next phases of building the steel columns, but this whole way there's going to be the 295 is going to be up over top of everything. There's also going to be like an entrance ramp. All right, we're back to looking at the main wall project. This is sort of a wide view where they're rebuilding the wall. I want to point something out to you guys with this new design. First off, the concrete wall is significantly taller because the ground in front of it is flat. In the old design, it was raised earth, probably 10, 15 feet, and then a shorter wall. That was actually one of the failure points with the design, because that when the rain came and it created pressure, that dirt was able to push out. With the new design, the dirt is not pushing out, and that concrete, again, is just like one massive connected piece that goes all the way down deep into the underground. To show some of the progress here, the bottom segment here is February 2nd, just a couple weeks ago, and then back the day after Christmas. You can see they probably put 2.5 times the amount of poured wall pieces in play. We're also going to go back to when the first panels were going in, November 22nd. So it's a steel frame. They have a steel form that they put in, and then they pour the high pressure concrete into it, and then it all just becomes one large connected down into the lower levels foundation. This is a quick look from the back side of it. So this whole area here, where you see the wall, the concrete wall there, that's all going to be filled in with earth, and the roadway is going to be built on top of that. We're going to take a look at that abutment area. So I highlight this one with a circle because already since December 26th, that area is now, that's finished. That lower, it's filled in with concrete. I was getting a little lazy. I didn't do an overlay to show you what it looks like today. Now I want to call out another thing. Remember that sidewalk? When we were first looking at this, they built like a lower level sidewalk, and you can see it right here start coming into play. And it's like, why did they build that sidewalk? Well, part of it is, I think it does help hold the earth that's there now up, but then also it's a nice benefit for the workers in the trucks to be able to set the frames, the forms, and pour the concrete. And with that, this update is done. Trying to keep it short, sweet, talking fast. I'm just going to do one last pass going through, again, the Browning Road Bridge here. You can see the construction progress there with the temporary road. We're going to pan over to the left. There's those columns that we just talked about that have been in place for a while, and they built the concrete headers. You have the abutment area where they're pouring. Remember how I called out that other aspect was more filled in? You could see that there. Here's the large wall that is, got a whole new engineering design to it. You can see the flattened earth in front of it. There's no raised earth. That earth is not going to be able to push out. Plus that concrete and the load is just carried way down below the ground. So that's it. That's the February update. You have no idea how much work I have to put in just to get this prepared before I can even start speaking. But I really do hope to be able to do at least a video a month. I got to do something on the Route 130 bridge, Brooklyn Circle area, the Washington Township, Route 42. I got to catch up on Route 7. I got things to do, guys. Mark from 42freeway.com. Be sure to follow me on all of the social media channels.